Sara Gorsky, what was your first pet and how did it die?
I'll tell you. His name was Butterscotch. He was this like creamy brown color with some white splotches. Butterscotch.
A cat or a dog?
He was a cat. I wrote my parents letters about how I was going to be a responsible cat owner. And change his litter box and feed him and take care of him, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, 10-ish years. And I went to college. And my dad calls me while I was like between classes in the quad. And he's like, hey, Butterscotch ran away. He's probably dead.
Wow.
So he had run away and he didn't come back home. And they thought he just kind of found a place to die. I was fucking brutalized. It's obviously been about 10 years, so I'm not crying about it at this moment, but I definitely cried a storm on the quad right there in front of my fucking friends.
I had a cat named Carmel.
Carmel? Was he colored like a warm brown color?
Yeah, he was a rescue that my brother George had found.
Oh my god, he's so sweet.
He was so sweet. But he was also a murderer because...
He was a murderer?
So he would go outside,
okay.
And even though he had his front claws taken out...
You guys declawed him? Don't declaw your cats. This is the PSA. Don't declaw your cats. It's the equivalent of cutting off their front knuckles. I just want to tell you, and I did this as a kid, I didn't know... When you declaw your cats, they're cutting off their bones that are their hand bones. And that's terrible, and you shouldn't declaw your cats. You can just trim them every month. You can get used to it. You can trim them. Like, you just get your cat used to, like, holding the paw and trimming. Anyway, this is a PSA. I'm sorry.
Even though Carmel was declawed, he could still kill birds, squirrels, rabbits, all kind of things.
He was a great boy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, when I was about 10... We came home one day, and my dad had to take Carmel to the veterinary's office. Keep in mind, I lived in the suburbs. Someone had shot him with a shotgun. And,
who shot him?
We never found out.
What?
And, he still had BBs in his leg. A couple of years later, one of the BBs moved, and it forced a blood clot up into his heart, and he died.
I'm distraught. I knew.
Yes. I was in absolute tears when I found
You love that boy?
He was the fucking best.
He was such a great hunter, right?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Classic cat thing where they would take a bird and drop it in your shoe.
Oh my god. In your shoe. You have a bird in your shoe. He brought just for you. Valentine's Day. And cats look into you. And they know if you love them or not.
Yeah.
And they treat you accordingly. And then when they're gone, it's like, fucking like, for me at least, it slayed me. It completely slayed me. I will tell the camera immediately. I'm a cat lover. I love cats.